Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis for the Aussie dollar, US dollar, AUDUSD. The date is April 5th, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our videos, make sure you subscribe. Click subscribe on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Okay, we've got the daily Aussie chart displayed here. Let's go ahead and pull up our pivot points. Okay. So just before we get into pivot points, my overall sentiment is bearish. We see this descending price channel over the last couple of years. Pretty cut and dry, right? We've got our lows here displayed, low touches in the bottom of this trend line. Then we've got a nice parallel roof. Had a couple of peak throughs over time, but price always falls out. Now, price came up and tested the bottom of that same range and is now moving away. Price, the daily, this is the daily chart, the daily is moving below the fast moving average, so that's another sell sign. So that's why my overall bearish sentiment. We can kind of see here a support and resistance zone here and mapped out, not based on any pivot points, but just previous price action. We see this 66.75 ceiling held for quite a while. Price dropped through, came back, tested, clear drop here, strong US dollar strength. We saw last week price shoot up to the 62.51, pardon me, and now price is moving away. So let's go ahead and map out those pivot points and see what we can expect this week out of price action. So we've got our pivot at 60.62. So our first one right there. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. So usually I think about the pivot, it's kind of a gimme, right? That price will probably go there, and I can see price retracting. Actually, let's go into the 4 hour for this. Okay. So 60.62 is our pivot right there. Great. Let's see where resistance won. 61.44. So you can just represent all of these with horizontal lines. And there's our R1. That makes sense, right? That's our last high. So if price were to revisit that, we are in a downtrend. We would expect another sell-off when we want to sell those rallies, right? And now price is right below this pivot. It could spike up here, touch this average, go a little bit above with some hot market action, but then we'd expect a sell-off somewhere in this zone if price were to retract up into this little parallel zone we see here. R2. If price were to go through 61.44, right, a breakthrough, 62.96 is our R2. So let's go ahead and map that out right there. That makes sense. There's that last low. Back in March of 2020, that was a low when price first started moving down. So let's go ahead and map that, 96. So that's a pretty good ceiling. Once again, we see this parallel trend channel going down. Very unlikely that price would go above R2. If it did, R2 we'd see 65.29. So that's really up here to this last. So in order for that to happen, the US dollar would have to have a pretty tough week. But now we seem to be a full downtrend. We talk about the moving averages here. In the 4 hour, we're also moving below the fast 20. So that's another sell signal as long as price stays below that. So let's talk about support, because I think that's the more probable scenario this week. 59.11. There we go. The dollar cooled off a little bit there for a sec, but I still think we're going to be strong. So I expect more US dollar action. Strength. 5.4. Okay, that's our first support. I can see price moving there. Right, we've got that historical price action along this line. And if price moves through there, if price goes through S1, you should expect it to test S2 next. So 58.29. That would be down here. S2, 58.29. Then if we saw a clear break at 58.29, so I'm talking about like big bearish candles that close below it on perhaps the daily or the 4, then we'd be testing S3, 55.95. Just be careful. You don't want to enter trades when it's sitting on support. You don't want to sell right on support. So if S2 is broken, big drop down here to S3. What's that one again? S3, 55.95. And with some good selling action, shorts, these happen really quick, hence the name short. If we see price don't go above the 65, the pivot, right, kind of hang out here. Expect S1, expect a possible sell to S2 if S2 is broken, all the way down to the 56 mark. Okay, well, I hope everyone has a very profitable week. We will talk soon.